So hello everyone, myself Pavani. I am working as Assistant Professor in CSE AIML department at MLR Institute of Technology. Today I would like to give a session on machine translation approaches. In previous video we discussed about introduction to machine translation, right? So what is the meaning of machine translation? To translate the text from source language to target language. In how many ways we are translating the text? We will discuss the approaches of the machine translation approaches. Let's see the machine translation approaches. There are 4 approaches are there. Direct translation, role-based translation. Under role-based translation there are 2 types. Transfer-based translation, Interlingua-based translation. Right. Next, corpus-based translation. Under corpus-based translation there are 2 types. Example-based translation and statistical based translation, and last one knowledge based translation. These are the 4 different approaches are there in a machine translation. So coming to the first one, direct machine translation. It in the name itself, it is a direct machine translation. There is no indirect method. Here we are using only direct machine translation, means source language to target language. Easily you can translate, right? Let's see the definition. Here the direct machine translation performs word by word translation from source language to target language. That means here we are performing the process word to word. It means word by word. Means in sentence we have so many number of words, right? Here we are performing the task based on the word by word translation from one language to another language, means source language to destination language, without any intermediate representations like syntactic or semantic analysis. That means we are not following any rules, right? This is a syntactic, semantic analysis, tense, numbers like genders. We are not following like this. That means we are directly transferring some source language to target language without any intermediate representation. This is the main meaning of the direct machine translation. That means we are not using any intermediate representation. Directly we are going to the source language to target language in the form of word by word translation. This is the meaning of direct machine translation. So next, it uses the bilingual distance. That means it uses the some data set that is a bilingual. That means large language, scientific language, to find target language equivalence. That means we have to find out the target language words in bilingual dictionary. That means it forms the sentence by using words, right? In using the bilingual dictionary. It means it carries out syntactic rearrangement to match the grammar of the target language. That means we have to form a sentences to reach the target language. We have to follow the some syntactic rules. That means there is a rearrangement in a words. That means subject, object, verb to subject, verb, object. That means English to Hindi. Suppose we are translating, English is subject, verb, object. Some Telugu or Hindi, subject, object, verb. There is a rearrangement is possible in a direct machine translation whenever translating source to target language. Let's see the diagram. Here, first we have to do the morphological analysis. That means word to word analysis is required. After that, we have to move to the bilingual dictionary lookup step. That means source language, target language dictionary. That means it contains the words. List of words. It means dataset or database. So source language words directly goes to the bilingual dictionary. After that, here syntactic rearrangement is needed, right? After that, target language text is read, right? This is comes under this. Okay. First we have to do the source language text. After that, after source language words, go to the bilingual dictionary and find out the target language words. After syntactic analysis, then rearrangement of the words, and finally it shows the target language text. Let's see. In the general procedure for direct translation from English to Hindi or Telugu, they have to follow some steps. That means we have to remove the morphological inflections. That means gender, names, right? From source words to root forms. That means we have to find out the root word of the word. In sentence, we have to find out the root word. That means here we perform the stemming and limitation process. So let's look up the dictionary lookup. Get equivalent words from the lingual dictionary, bilingual dictionary. That means after getting the source word from the root word, we have to find out the equivalent words. That means equivalent word. Place, the equivalent word is play, the root word. So rearrangement of the sentence structure to match the target language grammar. So after finding the equivalent word, we have to rearrange the sentence structure. Let's see the example. Kushbu slept in the garden. What is the step-by-step procedure we discussed already, right? Remove the morphological inflections and find out the equivalent words and rearrangement of the structure, right? Let's see. We have to find out the morphological analysis means word by word analysis required. So Kushbu, we are translating English to Hindi, right? Soyi mein bagiche. Soyi mein bagiche. This is a syntactic arrangement. After syntactic arrangement, Kushbu bagiche mein soyi. This means Kushbu totalo nidrapotundi, right? After rearrangement, Kushbu nidrapoyindi totalo. This is the final output is Kushbu nidrapotundi totalo. That means Kushbu totalo nidrapotundi. After rearrangement, we can call like this or we can call like this. This is the correct sentence. Our correct rearrangement of the sentence. Kushbu bagiche mein soyi. This is the meaning of the rearrangement of the sentence from source language to target language. That means we have to find out the first word by word order. After that, we have to do the rearrange dictionary lookup. After that, we have to do the rearrangement. We have to follow these 3 steps. First one, word to word order, word by word order, word by word. Next, find out the dictionary from word. And next, finally, rearrangement. We have to follow these steps. So here we see some disadvantages there. Direct machine translation is simple but limited in accuracy. So it does not understand the grammar or meaning, only maps the rearrangement. That means there is no sentence formation. That means there is no understand the meaning. It automatically rearranges in the sentence. Effective for closely related languages or controlled by a vocabulary systems. It is related to the closely related to the languages. Can be improved using morphological analysis. We can improve more by using morphological analysis and syntactic rules. Means we have to follow the context-free grammar rules for better sentence formation. So word by word translation issues. Let's see them one by one. Here example, book a ticket for me. Here book means there is a ambiguity occur, right? Here textbook or book a ticket for me. The system struggles to identify whether the word is book is noun or verb. That means here book a ticket means sometimes it is a noun, sometimes it is a verb. Thus the user faces the ambiguity situation. That means confusion state. It is a book or a book ticket, right? This is an example of word by word translation. This is a lack of contextual understanding makes correct translation. This is one of the drawback. It means there is no understanding between the language. It means pronunciation. That means contextual understanding makes correct translation is difficult. This is one drawback. So next one, lexical analysis. Lexical analysis. What is the meaning of lexical analysis? It means word level analysis. That means word by word level analysis. They don't analyze the grammatical structure or relationship between the words. Because we are not here applying any rules, right? Directly we are translating source language to target language. So this leads to the poor quality output, especially in complex sentences. So some simple sentences it will be easy. Some complex paragraphs, some sentences, large sentences, it will be difficult. So monolithic and pair specific. Direct machine translations are built for specific language pair. So cannot be reused or easily adapted for the other language pairs. It only adapted for some only languages, not to all languages. So here we require n into n minus 1 times, but for n times we require n into n minus 1 translations for n languages. Let's see. This is the n languages. Let's see. In previous we discussed the direct machine translation, right? Here second one, rule-based machine translation. So what is the meaning of rule-based machine translation? System source external to intermediate representation which is used to produce the target text. That means here we are using source language to target language translation. Within that we are using the intermediate representation. Some intermediate representation we are using. In direct machine translation we are not using any intermediate representation. Directly we are translating source language to target language. But here we are using intermediate representation. How we are using intermediate representation like this? So first a parse tree and next semantic representation. There is a semantic representation parse tree, right? Target language text is generated from intermediate representation. So finally it will generate from the intermediate representation. So depending on intermediate representation, these systems are further categorized as two types: transfer-based machine translation, interlingua machine translation. Let's see the transfer-based machine translation. So what is the meaning of role-based? Means whenever we are trying to transfer source language target language, within that we are using the intermediate representation. How we are representing means by using a parse tree or structured representation. Within that we are representing the target language. That means we are using parse tree or structured representation. In how many ways we can represent these? Two ways. That means transfer-based machine translation and interlingua machine translation. See the first one, transfer-based machine translation. So what is the meaning of transfer-based machine translation? We are transferring some one language to structured language to some another target language. So how can we do this process is by using analysis way, transfer way, synthesis way. So what is the meaning of analysis? So source language text is parsed using source language grammar to produce the intermediate representation. First we have to do the source language text. After analysis it will transfer. After analysis we are using it intermediate representation. For analysis we are using intermediate representation. So first we are taking the source language text. For analysis we are using the intermediate representation. After analysis is completed, the source language representation transfers to the target language representation. Within that we are using the SL and TL dictionary and grammar. This is the meaning of overall the meaning of the transfer based machine translation. So source language text is converted to the analysis phase based on the word sentence representation by using SL and TL dictionary grammar. So after transferring it into the target language in the form of after synthesis, it means rearrangement. Synthesis means rearrangement. After target language we have to rearrange the sentence in correct formation. Let's see the example. So these steps we have to follow. Analysis, transfer, that means synthesis. Synthesis means generation. That means we have to regenerate the sentence using some syntactic rules. Let's see the example here. Here this is the structure of the tree structure of the sentence. Let's see. We are translating one English sentence to the Hindi sentence. What is the sentence? Khushbu slept in the garden. So this is the sentence, right? So we have to draw first tree structure. Sentence. S is the root node. That means structure. For S, noun phrase, verb phrase. These are all the context free grammar rules. These are we have to learn about these rules, right? So noun phrase. What is a noun phrase? Khushbu is a noun, right? Here Khushbu is the noun phrase, right? Here what is verb? Slept is the verb. In inflection, these are all the inflections are determinants. Inflections, we have learned these concepts, very important. So in is the inflection. In the garden is noun phrase. Da is a determiner, right? Garden is a noun phrase. This is about sentence formation for the English sentence, right? We have to transfer this structural language to the target language, right? Within that we are analyze the structural language sentence by using the SLTL dictionary. That means source language bilingual dictionary. So After rearrangement, this is sentence structure, noun phrase, verb phrase. Here noun phrase is Khushbu. Prepositional phrase is noun phrase, inflection, the garden. That means Khushbu, the garden. Instead, that means we are transferring the sentence into Hindi, right? What is a Hindi? Khushbu baag mein soyi. That means Khushbu, the garden. That means baag mein soyi. This is the final sentence. Like this. Sentence, noun phrase, verb phrase, Khushbu. Prepositional phrase is noun phrase, inflection, baag mein soyi. This is the final sentence after rearrangement of the syntactic rules. Let's see another example. Ravi is playing in the park. This is the source language text. We have to transfer source language text to target language by applying the analysis and synthesis phase, right? So Ravi, so what is the meaning of, exact meaning of the sentence is Ravi khel raha hai mein park. So after target language rearrangement, Ravi park mein khel raha hai. This is the rearrangement of the sentence. Ravi is playing in the park. Exact what is the meaning? Ravi khel raha hai mein park. This is a translation of, this is a direct translation. Within that we are using the intermediate representation for transferring the sentence, right? Ravi park mein khel raha hai. This is the meaning of the transfer based machine translation. So next, second one, Interlingua-based machine translation. This is all rule based, under rule based, transfer and interlingua, right? So what is the meaning of interlingua? The source language text is converted into language independent. That means meaning representation called independent. Independent meaning representation is called interlingua. A interlingua represents all sentences that mean the same thing in the same way regardless of the source language they happen to be. That means it represents all the sentences of the same meaning. There is no change in the meaning. There is little bit change of rearrangement is there is a need, right? But meaning will not change. From interlingua representation, text are generated into the other languages. That means translation of the two-stage process, analysis and we already discussed in previous slide. Translation will be done in two stages, analysis stage and synthesis stage, right? So first source language, after source language analysis done, after analysis, right? Target language, synthesis is required. That means rearrangement is required. Compulsory for sentence, rearrangement is compulsory needed. That means human evaluation is compulsory needed. Right? Let's see the diagram. Here, source language text 2. That means 1 to n. That means 1 to n language text, right? After that, interlingua representation, synthesis required. Some target language 1 to TL1 to TLN. This is a representation of interlingua. That means it is a multiple text we are transferring by using interlingua representation. That means in the first is source language text is represented in interlingua. In second is target language representation. In analysis, what we will do is specific to source language text. That means we are analyzing the sentences and we'll go through it in dictionary and we'll verify it. After that, target language generated. After the synthesis required, rearrangement, the final target language is generated. So this makes convenient to easy multilingual environment. That means we are transferring 1 to n text, right? So it is a multilingual environment. It creates the multilingual environment. In direct machine translation, for n language, we need n-1. This is the point, right? In direct machine translation, we already discussed, right? N language there, we have to need to generate n into n-1 machine translation systems. That means every pair needs a separate system. This is a very crucial, right? So in interlingua, for n languages, only n components required, right? Let's see so much less complex and more scalable. This is the advantage of interlingua-based machine translation, right? Next, third one, corpus-based machine translation. Corpus within the meaning itself is a database. Corpus means contains large text, large data. It is a set of methods that uses bilingual parallel corpus to obtain knowledge for new incoming translation. That means we have to translate the for next translation. We have to take the words from the corpus-based machine translation. This approach is large amount of data. We already discussed, right? This is a corpus, is a large amount of data. It contains a large amount of data in the form of a parallel corpora. Right? This raw data contains text and their transaction. These corpora are used for acquiring translations knowledge. This is used for the to transfer the knowledge. There are two types. In this, there are two types of machine translation approaches are there: example-based machine translation approach and statistical machine translation approach. These two are machine translation under corpus-based machine translation, right? Coming to the first one, example-based machine translation approach. So, what is the meaning of your example-based machine translation? Example-based is the one of the database, right? It contains the previous translation examples. That means we already generated some examples in previous, right? It takes the input from that examples and generate the new sentences. The meaning of this is right. This is the meaning of that new translations, right? New incoming translations. It takes the previous data and generate the new incoming translation. That means new sentences. Depends on the previous sentences. This is the meaning of corpus based. In the first one, example based. Example based system past translation examples to generate the translations for the given input, right? When input sentence is presented to it, the system retrieves the similar source language from example base. So same point, right? If suppose input sentence is presented, right, the system retrieves the previous information according to a similar sentence. That means whatever the sentence we are given, it takes the input from the similarly input from the some database, right? After retrieving the most similar sentence, the system makes necessary changes. After retrieving the sentence, that means target language, it will rearrange the synthesis is required. Compulsory synthesis is required. After all the translation language, the synthesis is needed required because the machine will not give the accurate sentence. That means correct exact sentence. Human evaluation is needed, right? Finally, the modified sentence is translated into the target language. Let's see the diagram. Source language sentence. So we have to retrieve the source language sentence by using example. It is a data set, right? The dataset contains the previous examples, right? So main name is example base. That means it contains the previously already generated sentences are there in the dataset, right? We can retrieve from the dataset. After that, adoption. That means we have to analyze the sentence. Then target sentence will synthesis the that means generation of sentence means this is the target language sentence. So next one, statistical machine translation approach. What is the meaning of statistical machine translation? Means statistical model is one of the approach in a natural language processing. That means in this in previous video discussed statistical language models. That means n-gram models, right? Statistical machine translation approach. This model is related with the use of statistical models whose parameters are derived from the analysis of bilingual text corpora. That means by using bilingual text corpora, we can generate the parameters from using statistical models. Here we have to follow the one formula, right? P of H by E is equivalent to P of E comma H by P of E is equivalent to P of H into P of E by H divided by P of E. That is P here H is the target language, E is the source language. Target language, S is the source language. P of E comma H by P of E. This is the formula to calculate the statistical machine translation for the sentence. Here see, language model directly transferred to the translation model to, it means source language. Language model gives the probability of sentence. Translation model helps to compute the conditional probability. That means language model helps to find out the probability sentence and translation model helps to the condition of the probability. That means you have to compute the conditional probability. Here let's see the example. Khushbu slept in the garden, right? Khushbu baag mein soyi. Slept. Soyi. Right? This is a sentence. Khushbu slept in the garden. Khushbu Here Kushbu slept garden. Here null pointer is required. Soe in is a null. This is the statistical machine translation approach. Next, final one, language knowledge based machine translation approach. Knowledge based machine translation. Within the name itself, knowledge based sentence, right? Here, the knowledge based sentence rely on programmers to enter various language, vocabulary and syntax information to databases. That means source language text to linguistic and performs a semantic analysis. After performing semantic analysis, conceptual representation is required. After conceptual representation, semantic representation, that means semantic generation for the target language. Knowledge means, suppose we are giving some one sentences, the system will give the more sentences, more about the particular sentence. That means large. The programmers then write list of rules that decide the possible relationship between the language parts of speech. So here how the analysis will done in a knowledge based is, first convert source text into deep meaning representation using grammar and syntactic rules, right? Next, it stores the entities relationships like some tree structure, right? Used for the disambiguation and understanding. So after generating this, the meaning representation into fluent grammatically correct target language sentences. So finally, after using this knowledge based translation, we can generate the target language. So this is all about the machine translation approach. In this session, we discussed about direct-based machine translation and direct-based machine translation and interlingua machine translation and transfer-based machine translation and rule-based machine translation, corpus-based machine translation and knowledge-based machine translation. Thank you.